Look at these spots, holy smokes. This big 4-story, well, 5-story actually. Oh yeah, look at that. Just beautiful, right? And I'm sure on the weekends or on a nice sunny day when it's not raining, it can get pretty busy. Hello everybody, welcome to Notting Hill in London, a very famous neighborhood that was, I guess, partially made famous by the movie Notting Hill. But today we're going to be doing a kind of neighborhood tour around here, show you what the houses are like, some of the streets, some of the amenities, and yeah, just talk about some of the real estate options as well. But the whole goal of this is to just give you a general idea for kind of what the interior neighborhood is like, what the vibe is like, and what it would be like to live here. So, to start off, I mean, obviously this neighborhood is quite famous. I did kind of a weird thing here, just for the ease of walking, where I went to Portobello Market, which I'll talk about here in a bit first, and I'll kind of cut that into the video here a little later on. That's one of the main kind of shopping districts. A lot of the interior of the neighborhood obviously is just residential, and then you get these streets up along here, just like Kensington Park Road, and then Portobello Road, which we also cover, and that leads right to the Portobello Open Air Market. So that's kind of all located in the northeast. Today we're walking kind of south by southwest, just to give you an idea for where we're going to be going. But, you know, I just wanted to show you guys some of the amenities. You know, there's great bookstores. I've seen a couple cafes, and then there's obviously a lot of little restaurants and kind of hole in the wall. But the neighborhood is obviously very beautiful. All gold. Let's try not to get smoked by a car. I'm used to traffic going the other way in my part of the world, so I gotta look left when I'm used to looking right, and vice versa. Okay, so we're just going down Kensington Park Road. While we're looking at the bus, I guess that reminds me, you know, with transit, we're pretty close to central London. But, you know, some people obviously have cars here. Some people will take the subway or the train. There's a few lines that kind of run along the outskirts of the neighborhood for trains. And then, obviously, as you can see, there are bus lines as well. All right, so we're gonna kind of head into the neighborhood. The other cool part about Notting Hill is that there is, you know, up by these markets where we're gonna be going here, there are these green spaces. Some of them I saw were by what they call subscription. Look at these spots, holy smokes. This big 4-story, well, 5-story actually. If you look up there, you can see the kind of attic windows, but just beautiful London homes through here. So yeah, back to transportation. You know, it's if we're getting into the nitty gritty, when it comes to the tube transportation in London or the subway, there's many different zones. It's not like, you know, I'm from Canada, so it's not like Toronto where you pay one fee, and then that you can basically ride the subway or trains, all that stuff. You've got different zones for your payment, and then with buses and trams here, you've got just kind of their only zone, so you don't really have to pay once, if that makes sense. Probably not, but anyways, pretty easy to figure out. So yeah, we're just walking through this neighborhood here. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys. Now, I do have some pricing as well in terms of, you know, what things cost. I like to do these videos where I talk about the cheapest, because pretty much anywhere in the world right now, you can pay as much as you want for whatever you want, you know? But it's a good place to start is the cheaper end, just so you know, hey, if I wanted to, you know, I can get in on the bottom floor of some of these places, then what would it cost me? So we're just kind of on the main Ladbroke Grove Road, which is kind of a main thoroughfare. I'm going to cut back in here in a second, but you know, there are these larger streets that kind of cut through the neighborhood. But there's obviously many different options. So the other, I guess, places of interest here, you know, you got Kensington Gardens and Hyde Park, which is outside of this neighborhood into Kensington. I mean, you know, when we're talking about this neighborhood, from the people that I've talked to, different people will consider different parts of different neighborhoods, just like every city, you know. You could be everybody's gonna have a different perspective on where the borders for individual neighborhoods are. But a good way to kind of just figure out where I'm speaking about is if you go on Google, type in the neighborhood name, click on it, it'll show you the map of the area that I'm kind of referring to. But yeah, so now in terms of kind of the green spaces, what we were talking about there, so kind of to the southeast, not very far away, maybe a 5-minute drive, is Kensington Gardens and Hyde Park. And then you've got a couple of different kind of green spaces around as well. Just south, you've got Holland Park in Kensington. And I'm gonna cut to the amenities now, show you that, and then when I get back into kind of the neighborhood, we'll keep chatting. Okay. Here we are at Portobello Market, up in the northeast part of the neighborhood. Portobello Road. So this whole street here is basically like there's the open air market, and then there's kind of these shops. Very quaint. You got little restaurant shops. And here's the blue door from the Notting Hill movie. Turn, head kind of into the neighborhood. And we're on Kensington Park Road. Okay, we're back. We're back into kind of the side street. So we just wanted to get off that road. Talking a bit more about that Portobello Market Street. As you can see, like, that's a pretty vibrant area, right? And I'm sure on the weekends or on a nice sunny day when it's not raining, it can get pretty busy, right? But you do have, you know, a couple other, I guess, amenity streets around. We are in pretty centrally located London, right? So if you go down to the south to Holland Park Ave, that's where kind of one of the subway lines runs. And you're gonna find a decent amount of commercial there. I don't know, that's probably a 10-minute walk. I mean, obviously it depends on where you are, but you're gonna be able to kind of find, you know, some shops nearby, right? Whether it's walking or maybe you gotta take the car. But let us chat about the actual real estate. So, you know, I like to, before I come to an area, take a cruise around some of the real estate websites. It seems from my research that, unlike, let's say you're in North America or something like that, you can usually access the entire MLS. Here, it's almost, if you go on a website, they only have their own listings, right? So you might have to shop around a little bit, but that's in my experience. So what I noticed was for a studio flat, you're looking at 200, let's go down here, 275 pounds. Sorry, 275,000 pounds. Getting messed up on the, I don't even know, that's not even a conversion, but so that's what you're looking at, like a studio apartment, tiny, right? This is gonna be bottom of the barrel. And then for a 1-bedroom flat, you're looking at 300,000 pounds. So again, I don't really like to talk about rents because they change a decent amount. And the whole purpose of this channel is to create content revolving around neighborhoods and cities, to give you an idea for what it's like to live in those neighborhoods, in those cities, best we can. We've, you know, my job is to go to these countries, meet with the networks that you might require to make that move. So we've kind of got a one-stop shop. You get these neighborhood tours, and if you find a neighborhood that you like, then we can connect you with the relevant people that you need to move. Let me look at this spot. This is very, oh yeah, look at that. Just beautiful, right? Big spots. I mean, I was looking around also in the, you know, standalone homes and everything else, and it gets, I mean, it gets pricey out here, right? And that's to be expected. You know, this is a pretty affluent area. But you know, you're getting into the tens of millions of pounds. So you can spend or do, I guess, spend as much as you want, and you're going to get a relevant run-of-the-mill property for the price that you pay, just like everywhere else. But I mean, you know, the vibe I'm getting in here, it's kind of weird. When you go out to the markets or the busier streets, it's a little touristy, and I think you're gonna, not so much in here where I'm walking, but in the markets and the busy streets. And I think you're gonna see that just because of the movie, you know, like literally on Google Maps, they have like the blue door from the movie. And a lot of the literature on the neighborhood is kind of revolves around arts, culture, which makes sense. But when you go to like Portobello, you know, you definitely get a feeling of a bit of the touristy thing going on there. But when you're inside the neighborhood, it's pretty quaint, quiet, right? Like I've seen mostly older folks living here. And I have seen a few younger people walking around, I guess. But again, with every neighborhood, you're going to get a mixture generally, right? It just spans the economic spectrum. So, you know, the general rule of thumb is in cheaper areas, you're going to find maybe more young families or young people starting out in their homeownership journey. And then in the wealthier areas, you're going to find people that are kind of at the end of that. And that's not a rule. It's a bit of a hypothesis that when you work your whole life, you know, and you don't win the lottery, and you get lucky and, you know, in business or whatever, then you can afford higher priced properties. And when you're getting started out, you can't. Okay, just take a spin down here. Yeah, it's cool. So a lot of these houses have these little like kind of built-in gardens and whatnot in the back end. You know, there's not a ton of greenery out on the streets, but I mean, it's still beautiful. But you have kind of these gardens that overflow out over top of the fences and whatnot. Okay, well, I'm just going to, I'm done talking, so, you know, again, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a like. It helps us reach more people that like these kind of neighborhood tours, and we're coming out with a lot of different content here. For those of you, I guess, still listening, but I'm a realtor from Canada, and yeah, my goal here is to just create a lot of neighborhood content from basically the places that I travel to after I meet with other real estate professionals from around the world, so that you can get to know me a bit through these videos, and then hopefully we can help you move, whether it's buying or selling in whatever country we're doing these tours in. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of content on these different cities around the world. So yeah. Anyways, enjoy. James Bond car. Oh, that's cool. So the school's just down there, the elementary. Oh, the road closed where I was gonna go. It's alright, to the left. So we're coming up to St. James Gardens here, kind of on that, where that big trees are. Take a little stroll past there. Here's the primary school as well.
All right, folks, we're gonna finish up here. Once again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, give us a like, helps us reach more people like you who want these neighborhood tours from around the world in some of the cities, world's greatest cities. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.